All right, welcome back. Well, now we'll be focusing on a different matter, as you might have seen in that welcoming slide. Mr. Albert Stephen joins us now. He's of the Save Adamawa Movement. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, there's this, I'm trying to see, is it this 3.7 billion naira loan which the state government is seeking to collect from Islamic Development Bank? Is that it? What is the challenge with all of this?
No, actually it's not 3 point something, it's 20 billion.
20
billion, yes. And the problem we have with that is that if you look at the states, you know, the debt management office has categorized states that have green, yellow, and pink. And those in pink are the ones that have been warned because their debt profile is more. And they want them not to continue. And Adamawa happens to be number 6. It has fallen in that. And based on that, we felt there was no further need to go indebted into the state. That's one, because the previous debts that have been collected and the subvention that was gotten from the Federation was not properly put.
Okay, but where did the press get 3.7 billion? Because they said you had gone to court and the case had not been listed about a certain 3.7 billion.
Yeah, that was the one that was 2011. The law had been passed.
Okay.
And the recent one is the one actually we had to change it because we're challenging the law because the law is anti-people.
You're challenging which law? The law
that was passed by the Adamawa State House of Assembly approving him to get the 20 billion. And these are the documents I have here.
So he's gone through due process to try and get the loan.
Yeah.
But, you know, for some reason you disagree with both himself and the members of the State House of Assembly?
Yeah, because they do not mean well for the state. They do not mean well for the people of Adamawa State.
How do you mean? You collect loan for development purposes for Adamawa State.
I agree. But you see, if you look at the trends in Adamawa since the inception, since Nyako came on power in 2007, there is no single project that has been commissioned. And you ask yourself, what has happened? What has the money, all that have been collected from the Federation account, from the loans that gotten from the external, from the internal, where had the money gone? And there's no single project you could point that has been commissioned. There are so many projects, you know, that have been initiated, but they have not seen the light of the day.
Did you raise your concerns with the members of the State House of Assembly? Because someone would think that, you know, since they're closer to the people, they should be able to hear what, you know, people have to say about that particular process.
Yeah, because the present members in the House Assembly, they are no longer representing people, they are representing themselves. Because like you're saying, if they are really representing the people, then they'll go out and hear, this is what is happening. But they don't do that because...
What was this loan being collected for?
This loan is collected for developmental. And from what they've said, initially he sent into the House seeking for 15 billion. Mm-hmm. The House went and made it 25 million, and they argued and they brought it back to 20 billion. Mm-hmm. And then subsequently, because the members are going to be given our 1.5 billion, which means each member is going to go away with about...
A member will be given 1.5 billion naira?
No, the entire House is going to be given 1.5 billion. Mm-hmm. It means each of the members is going to go away with 60 million.
Is that part of the agreement? I mean, was
it's
that a part of the law?
Because, no, it's part how the money is going to be spent.
Okay, so what are they going to be giving the money for? I mean, because let us get this straight. Is it also that they have constituency projects?
Yeah,
it's
coming the name of the constituency projects. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what constituency are they? What project are they doing in the constituency?
I find it interesting. Sorry, Chamberlain. I find it interesting that the state government goes to get a loan of 15 billion because the members of the House of Assembly are going to be getting a 1.5 billion. They increase what the governor should get or what they want to allow him get to 20 billion. You still have a space of about at least 3.5 billion naira extra. What? That's supposed to go to the executive as well?
Yeah, you see, that's why I'm saying they are no longer representing the people, they are representing themselves. That's I mentioned it earlier, because the laws they make, they are anti-people. And you see, the problem we have in Adamawa, in fact, unfortunately or fortunately enough, the people are conscientized. They are mobilized. And this thing, as we're doing it, there are so many people involved in it, even including the cabinet members of Nyako. They give us support. you know, look, this thing we have discussed, we know there's no longer. And we see Nyako, because he's on his final term. And therefore, it does not matter to him whatever the state is going to be involved in after he's gone.
Let me chip this in. We'll come back to this point you're raising now. You said that, you know, ever since he came on stream, he had not commissioned any projects.
Yeah.
Some will say, look, how come? Because we did hear some time ago, I think it was in March, either 12th or 13th, that he commissioned this 400 housing units for civil servants along that No-Man Road. Was that not true?
Those were projects that was done by Boni Haruna. Because all the projects that Nyako had ever commissioned, you have the ultra-modern market that was done and finished by Boni. It was only left for him to commission when he left. The same, that housing unit along Numa Road was all done by Boni. Even the house, I mean the block of houses or office block in the State Polytechnic, they are all done. There is no single project that had run by Nyako.
So are you saying that he should have abandoned those projects and started the project of his own?
No. You know, it's not that. Of course, there are still projects that Boni initiated that have not finished.
Isn't that part of governance? Finish off from where your predecessor
he has not finished. What I'm telling you, this project were ready for commissioning when Boni left.
Okay. But
and,
this one
sorry,
now.
You know, this loan to key in on this development issue is, you know, some have also argued that you don't have any worry knowing full well that the loan doesn't come with any kind of interest.
Well, whether it comes with interest or not, but at the end of the day, you are still going to pay.
So there won't be any kind of debt left on the state?
No, because for now, if actually there is no problem, why is it in the pink? And why are they warned by the debt office?
Documents
Yeah, because I have all the documents here. So why are they in the pink?
Let's see some of them. Which one do you particularly have grasp with?
You know, this is the education system. Right now, there are workers in the education sector that have been employed, teachers, since last year, 4,450. Up to now, a single kobo have not been paid. These are paid from local government to local government, zone to zone. They have not been paid.
This is handwritten. I mean, how is this tenable? There's no paper, no sign, no dates. Anybody can write this.
Yeah, well, I am telling you, this is what you can find there. And this is because we've taken it to the court, this is actually the court something. And these are the procedures, the rules that the House passed. And this is all about the loan of 20 billion.
But if the money doesn't have any interest attached to it, how worried are you of
No, 10 billion is not whether the money had tax. I mean, they had interest or no interest, because the money collected, it has not been justified. What have the money been done for? This one is only going to be, separated. Because what I want you to know is that if you are aware of the adage you have been saying about the mother, it's a government of the family and the friends.
Of family and friends?
Yes.
I'm looking at, I'm looking at the suit you filed here, and people are saying that there is a religious perspective to it, that you were concerned more about the fact that he was obtaining a loan from the Islamic Development Bank, which operates purely in Islamic banking and principle. You're saying it's a discriminatory and a breach of the governor's oath of office under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is this part of your concern?
Yeah, well, that was when we were talking about that one. I am saying that one is belated. We are talking about 20 billion.
But the Islamic Development Bank is still involved in this particular one.
Sure. Because, well, it's just one. I mean, that fact is not even, seen as anything. But the most important thing about all these things is that what I want to tell you, if somebody is attaching religion, I think the person is not being fair. Because one, like I said initially, people like Professor, they were one who brought him into the scheme of things. But Professor went into the whole state and broadcasted recently. He was apologizing for this in the whole Adamawa state, for the Adamawans, that he was sorry to have brought...
Professor who?
Professor Jibrin Aminu. Good. And he's a renowned professor and he's somebody who is well known.
He was apologizing to Adamawa people.
Yeah, for bringing Nyako as a government. He didn't know he was bringing disaster.
Well, we know currently what the drought, we can see what's playing out at the national level. We know that Governor Nyako is one of the G7 governors. So it's very difficult now to separate politics from real development going on the ground. I mean, a host of things. Anybody can be saying anything.
Yeah.
Depending on their political leanings.
Yeah, you see, the problem is that none of you had ever been to that part of the country.
Which part?
Adamawa. If you've been there and you see I mean, you wouldn't believe, because you just had the...
You're assuming here. You're assuming. That is an assumption.